Gardeners attach spoons to watering cans. When I learned the reason, I started doing it myself. This trick saves me a lot of time. Prepare a regular garden watering can and a spoon. Attach it to the watering can using a cable tie. This simple trick will give even the cheapest watering can new properties. The spoon must be attached from the bottom, as tightly as possible. Fill the watering can with water and go to the garden. Start watering the plants. You'll immediately notice that the water stream will pour out like a waterfall. This way, you'll water the garden faster. Without unnecessary waving, you'll water more plants. A simple spoon can make gardening easier. Since I've been having back problems, I've been using a broom for planting. Also, prepare some empty bottles. You'll see that planting has never been easier. Let me show you a great trick. Cut off the bottom of the bottle. Then, make 4 incisions on the remaining part, but not all the way to the cap. Cut out 2 sections from the 4 walls created by the incisions. This will create a peculiar funnel shape with 2 longer sides. Repeat this process with the other bottles. Cut off the bottoms of each bottle and make similar incisions as with the first bottle. You'll find that the longer these 2 sections are, the better. Get a broom or a brush ready. It can be an old one or something you don't use. The longer the brush, the better. I happen to have one like that. It's important that it has a pole attachment. Get rid of those synthetic fibers, remove them all, or at least the outer ones. Place the first bottle edge onto the brush. Ensure that the longer sides wrap around the brush and the bottle's edge is beneath it. Attach the bottle to the brush using hot glue. If you're using a wooden broom or brush, a staple gun will suffice. Attach the subsequent bottles in the same manner. Since this brush isn't too long, 4 bottles were enough. And there you have it. Attach the pole and head to the field. Take the bulbs you're planting. Mark the holes with your bottle brush. The soil should be well loosened. You don't have to bend over to mark the planting spots. Place the bulbs in the holes and cover them with soil. And that's it. You can make such a marker yourself in a few minutes, and it will be just what you need. Brilliant, isn't it? And this method works well when you have limited space in the garden, but still want to grow beautiful carrots without thinning. Let me show you how to prepare these containers for planting. Peel off the seal of each container, but don't throw them away. Pour some water into the bottom. You can do this indoors under the tap. After a while, they'll soften. Then you can make a hole in each compartment of the container. Once they dry, they're ready to use. While the containers will soften in moist soil, this method is good to start with. The seals will serve as bases. Fill the containers with soil. Take carrot seeds. The best ones to use are pelleted seeds. They're larger and easier to handle. I happen to have regular ones. You can also use this method for parsley or radish seeds. Place 1 seed in each compartment. Press them into the soil. Sow carrots into all the containers this way. Take the prepared containers to the field. If you have raised beds, this method works perfectly. Just line up the containers next to each other. I have 10 of them, so I'll arrange them in 2 rows of 5. Cover with a layer of soil and firm it down. You can also lay out the containers in rows and plant onions between them. This will ensure exceptionally successful yields. On the stakes in the garden, tie bundles with soap. You will be surprised by their action. This soap has an unusual application in the garden. You will get to know it right away. Choose the soap with the sharpest and strongest scent. Cut the soap bar into smaller pieces. You can cut this soap with scissors, but if you have a harder soap, use a knife or a vegetable grater. Smaller pieces of soap are needed. Prepare a cloth and cut it. You will get several smaller pieces. Place pieces of soap on each piece of cloth. Divide roughly evenly. Take a string. Make such a pouch and tie it. Do the same with the remaining pieces of cloth with soap. The string must be a bit longer. You will have these bundles. Also, take stakes for the field. Hammer them at the plot boundary. Tie 1 soap pouch to each stake. The stakes can be at different distances. Why am I doing this? The soap will deter deer. When vegetables are growing in the garden or you have young trees, the strong scent of soap will deter them. During rain, some of the soap will dissolve and flow into the ground. At ground level, the scent will deter rabbits. That's why you should drive in stakes with soap at the plot boundary. It will be an invisible barrier to pests such as deer and rabbits. When the soap dissolves or is blown away, hang up new ones. And you're done. You have a chance that your harvest will remain intact. Jedna łyżeczka sprawi, że sadzonki pomidorów będą silne, zdrowe i dobrze ukorzenione. Będziesz zachwycony. Wiotkie i słabe siewki w końcu rozwiną silny system korzeniowy. Nie będą chorować. Ich łodygi i liście zaczną pięknie rosnąć. Sadzonki pomidorów staną się twoją dumą, a wszystko to dzięki jednemu produktowi. Każdy, kto prowadzi domową rozsadę warzyw, wie, jak wiele warunków trzeba spełnić, aby sadzonki były zdrowe i silne. Odpowiednia temperatura, dużo światła i prawidłowe podlewania. To wszystko zapewniłeś swoim sadzonkom, a wciąż są słabe i nie rosną? Wtedy możesz je zasilić. Ochronisz je przed chorobami grzybowymi, które tak często atakują młode siewki. Nie będą też chorować na tak zwaną czarną nóżkę. Taki środek jest doskonały do ukorzeniania młodych sadzonek. Pobudza je do wzrostu. Aby go przygotować, potrzebujesz odstałej wody albo deszczówki. Taką wodę wlej do naczynia. Ten pojemnik ma pół litra pojemności. Dodaj pół łyżeczki miodu i rozpuść go w wodzie. Na litr wody użyj 1 łyżeczkę miodu. Dodaj pół łyżeczki cynamonu. Cynamon ma właściwości antybakteryjne. Chroni również przed pleśnią i wspomaga ukorzenianie jak miód. Taką mieszanką podlej swoje sadzonki. Będziesz zachwycony efektem. Sadzonki pomidorów będą pięknie rosnąć. Będą silne i zdrowe. Add it to the seedlings. Just 1 tablespoon is enough. It contains potassium, phosphorus, and calcium. In addition to that, you'll find about 30 trace elements in its composition. It strengthens the seedlings, making them less susceptible to diseases. It provides essential nutrients. Additionally, it repels pests. It contains calcium, which ensures proper root growth. Thanks to this, the seedlings can absorb all the necessary nutrients from the soil. Phosphorus positively affects flowering and fruiting. Potassium improves the bushing of tomatoes and cucumbers. It strengthens resistance to diseases. All of this is contained in ordinary wood ash. So don't throw it away anymore. You can prepare an ideal fertilizer for seedlings from it. It is suitable for watering young tomato and cucumber seedlings. With one addition, it has even better properties. Pour 1 tablespoon of wood ash into a liter jar. Pour water over it and mix. It can be rainwater. Add 1 tablespoon of vinegar. Vinegar will increase the acidity of the solution. It will improve the absorption of nutrients from the ash. Leave it for about an hour. You will see it gassing. Bubbles will appear inside the jar. Stir and water the seedlings. Feed smaller seedlings with a syringe and water larger ones. Water these seedlings. You'll manage to strengthen them before planting them in the field. You'll speed up the development of roots, shoots, and leaves. You'll fortify the young plants. They'll be more resistant to diseases and unfavorable weather conditions. To prepare it, you need a few products that you surely have at home. To start, about 10 grams of onion skins are enough. Transfer them to a jar and pour about a liter of hot but not boiling water over them. Close the jar and set it aside, preferably for 1 day in a warm place. The next day, strain the liquid through a sieve lined with gauze. This liquid alone is rich in many nutrients and minerals such as potassium, phosphorus, and magnesium. To this water, add 1 teaspoon of dried yeast and 1 teaspoon of sugar. Mix it and leave it for 2 hours. Yeast is a source of B group vitamins. It also contains magnesium, phosphorus, and potassium. Before watering the seedlings, the fertilizer should be diluted in 4 liters of water. Water the seedlings with the diluted fertilizer. You'll strengthen tomato seedlings even before planting them in the field. You can use this fertilizer once every 10 to 14 days. Even frail seedlings will become strong and healthy.